And now we return to another episode of On the Road to Percona Live.
We're going to predict where you're going to be on Tuesday, May 7th in Austin, Texas.
Wow, that's amazing because I think that there will be hundreds, if not thousands of people there.
Well, I'm hoping for more, but we only have seats for a limited amount of people.
There you go. There you go.
So buy your tickets early.
There you go. Welcome back, everyone. We're here to talk to you about what's cool and exciting at Percona Live. And what we're going to do for this series or this episode is we're going to be talking specifically about what's happening on Tuesday. We have another one for Wednesday, and we'll have another one for keynotes later on. But today we're going to go through and build our schedules for Percona Live. So Dave and I don't know what Dave chose. We're just going to go with what we are interested in, what we want to see. And honestly, it's really hard in some of these. There's some of them, like it was painful to choose one, and some I couldn't. So I'm going to try.
If only there was some way that we could be in one room but come back later and watch a tape of.
Well, I can say, and I don't think this is a secret, everything will be recorded and it will be released. But for those who can't attend Percona Live in person, guess what? We're going to be live streaming one of the rooms. So we tried to curate what we thought was the best, most interesting topics across all the different technologies, put them in one room to stream. So you'll not only be able to see the keynotes, but you'll also be able to tune in for those 2 days to get that. And I don't think I'm supposed to announce this, but what the hell, I'll announce it anyways. We also have a list of content that didn't quite make it or they couldn't come in person. We're going to have follow-up live Percona Live days that are online only. So we're going to be doing those in the month or so after Percona Live. And we hope that you will join us for all of these events because we would love to have you there. So without further ado, let's go take a look at what we've got going on our schedule. So I mentioned we'll do the keynotes later on. I'm going to start with May 17th, and let's start at this 10:30 hour. Honestly, a lot of cool content here. Quite a bit of really interesting things. But for me, the one that I want to go to is Postgres in the cloud, DBaaS versus Kubernetes. Dave, is that what you chose?
That's what I chose. Although the evolution of MySQL database is an excellent one. I've heard similar talks from that presenter. DBaaS and Kubernetes seems to be the big battle right now.
It does. But I think you might have cheated and saw my notes. So we're going to see if you've copied my answers. It's not going to bode well for you. But okay. But no, I agree completely. People love the letting someone else manage their databases. And so if they can do that, have the machine to do it for them, that's what they're looking for.
Yeah. And which machine do you pick?
Yeah, it's true. But that's a whole other topic. So looking forward to that.
Which will be covered at 10:30.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
So at 11:30, I am leaning towards going to see database incident management when everything goes wrong. That one is interesting for a lot of reasons, but Josh Varner over at Shopify, that could be a really interesting talk.
That's one I'm going to have to catch on the videos later. The one I want to go see is MySQL Backups at Booking.com.
Oh yeah, that's going to be backups at scale, right?
Booking's always been one of those big users of MySQL, and these folks do it at an amazing scale. And the two presenters are excellent. And if you have questions about how to do backups properly, you'll get some great tips in that session.
Yeah, definitely. So at the 1 o'clock or the 1:30 hour for me, I'm going to go see a detailed understanding of MVCC and auto vacuum internals in Postgres 14. That's a really, really long title, but I can tell you that auto vacuum is a painful thing for a lot of companies, and it's something that we are looking at what we can do to help fix that. But I think that that's a good topic. It's going to get in depth into the weeds, but it's also going to help a lot of people.
Well, I'm going to be in best practice to run Percona distribution for MySQL Operator, doing stuff with Kubernetes. There's a lot of what the British call fiddly little parts going on. and I'm looking for some clarification on using the operator.
Well, Marco is a great speaker, and we all know and love Mr. Tusa.
Who doesn't?
Yes. So at 2:30, I'm going to be going to scaling Venmo applications for growth with zero database downtime. That one to me is super interesting. However, there is kind of this one that I'm kind of like, I really also think about the 10 top mistakes when migrating Oracle to Postgres. But I think I'm going to end up with scaling Venmo.
Well, I'm going to end up in the new client tool for developers and the DBA.
New announcement from Oracle.
New announcement from Oracle. They actually kind of spilled the beans 2 weeks ago. This is the MySQL shell within Microsoft Visual Code. And it has some interesting features, including the ability that you can go back and use a editor to retype your code when you screw up on a query. Something that I do on a regular basis, whether I need to or not.
Well, there you go. 4 o'clock. This one, for me, I want to know what's in Postgres 15.
So do I.
Oh, well, see, look at that. We agreed on one.
My second choice was big data or just too much data.
Well, so I can tell you Marcos is a great speaker, and that should be a great topic. I think that 4 o'clock is just, there's so much here because the other, like transforming your DBA team into a DBRE team, like MySQL at scale at booking.com. You mentioned booking.com. Moving from Maria to MySQL, what was that journey like? Efficiently deploying Postgres. I don't know how, but 4 p.m. became like,
the battleground.
Yeah, it was go-to,
sessions. Diagnosing database issues with performance schema in MySQL 8.
Just a lot of goodness there.
There's a lot of goodness there.
Yeah. And then moving to 5, we've got another couple good ones that I'm really interested in here. But the one that I would probably go see is data consistency at scale and meta.
That sounds good. The Facebook folks have done a lot for the MySQL product, and now that they're called Meta, they're still doing that work. They're always up to something interesting. And they didn't go from MySQL 5.6 to 5.7. They actually decided to wait. Hey, we're going to go from 5.6 to 8.0. And I'm wondering what sort of complications that caused.
So on Wednesday, there's a talk on that. That's on my list. But we'll get to that in the next video. But that does look like a good one. But I can tell you there's a couple other ones that really kind of piqued my interest as well. So building a MongoDB compatible database on top of Postgres.
Yes.
Very, very interesting. Alerting with PMM is also interesting. Reducing your costs. PostgreSQL extensions, a deep dive into that. There's a lot of goodness at 5 o'clock as well. But for me, the talk from Meta seems to be where I want to go.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So that's our Tuesday for you. Maybe what we can do is throw onto this video a list of where Dave and I are going to be side by side. We can put something on the screen just so people can see.
Later in the day activities that were going on, because you just can't go down to South Congress or 6th Street.
Yeah,
we're going to be doing something too.
So what we'll do is we'll get you the list of ones that we would recommend. We'll publish a blog or something post video. But that's what our Tuesday looks like. I'm interested to know, what does your Tuesday look like? Which of those topics, which sessions are you really looking forward to? I'd love to hear your take on that. So until the next time, we're on the road to Percona Live.
Adios, amigos.